We just got the official teaser video for episode 4 of the amazing digital circus and it is absolutely insane. I've been watching it on repeat and I think I've cracked the theory no one else is talking about yet. Hear me out. I believe we're going to see the circus members swapping bodies with each other. And stay with me until the end because I'm going to break this down step by step. But first things first, let's talk about the release date. Netflix leak date turned out to be correct. Episode 4 drops on December 13th, which means we only have 2 weeks to prepare. And if this teaser is anything to go by, we are going to need those 2 weeks to mentally brace ourselves. Now, as we can see in the teaser, it looks like the episode will start out in the circus, just like the previous ones. And when Kane is telling the circus members that their next adventure is going to take place in a fast food restaurant, it seems like the circus members will not be happy. Because here we can see a box of suggestions, and I'm pretty sure that this was Kane's idea for the circus members to give him inspiration for the next adventure after what happened in episode 3. If you recall Kane and Zubal's therapy session, there's a moment where Zubal says something that clearly gets under Kane's skin.
Kane, nobody likes your stupid adventures.
And they go on to explain their frustrations further.
Ragatha's just too nice to say anything. Jax just likes to fight with everybody. Gangle's too shy to speak up. Kinger's insane. And Pomni, she looks traumatized every time she comes back from one.
And this is crucial because it causes Kane to question his purpose. For the first time, he starts to doubt whether he's actually good at his job. And that's when we see the circus glitching. The doubt destabilizes Kane and it creates this whole new level of uncertainty. Now this is where the theory starts to form. What if the glitch that happened because of Kane's questioning of his purpose somehow affected the new adventure? And what if that glitch is the reason why body swapping becomes possible in the first place? But it seems like the circus members will have some time to prepare for the adventure instead of Kane immediately pushing them through the portal. And here we got a shot of Gangle in Zubal's room. But here's when things start to get weird. When Gangle looks at herself in the mirror, it's clear she's seeing something unusual. Now of course we notice that her mask is different, and I've seen some comments suggesting that maybe Zubal made a mask for Gangle, so she wouldn't have to wear her usual sad mask. But I don't think that's what's happening here, because if you pay close attention, the characters just seem off. They're acting strangely, and Gangle's mask is just the beginning. This suggests that something bigger is happening in the circus, something that involves all the characters. The body swapping theory starts to make more sense here, especially when you consider how weird everyone's behavior is in this teaser. Just look at Jax, for example. In this one scene that we already saw in the teaser, Jax looks completely lost, which is nothing like his usual smug, confident self. Then in this scene, Jax is handling drive-thru orders, and he gets visibly jumpy when he sees the glowing queen. Now, we could argue that he's surprised to see an NPC returning, but remember, the circus members already know that NPCs can come back. Ragatha explained this to Pomni in episode 2, so the only person who might still be shocked by a returning NPC would be Pomni. But here's where it gets really interesting. In a teaser, we can hear Jax asking questions.
What were you... Who is... What's going on?
And it's just so out of character for him. These are the types of questions Pomni would ask. She's the newest member of the circus and she's always curious, constantly trying to make sense of her new reality. So based on this, I'm pretty sure that at some point in the episode, Pomni and Jax will swap bodies. But they are not the only ones acting suspicious. Ragatha also doesn't seem to be herself in many of the scenes. And maybe the body switch will happen here, because we can see Ragatha rubbing her face, almost as if she just woke up from a dream. Additionally, there's this scene where Jax lifts Ragatha up, but her body looks stiff and she doesn't even react. It's almost like her body is empty in this scene, as if no one has inhabited it yet. And maybe she's already in someone else's body. And later in the teaser, Ragatha looks bored and detached, again very out of character. It's almost like she's not in control of herself, which strengthens the idea that body swapping could be happening. And in this scene, it looks like it's actually Zubal who's in Ragatha's body. But let's move on to Zubal. We don't see much of Zubal in the teaser, but there's a quick shot of them flipping burgers. If you look closely at the hand in this shot, it doesn't look like Zubal's usual hands, even if they switched them. The gloves look very similar to Pomni's, which makes me think that at some point Pomni is going to end up in Zubal's body. And I also think we'll see Ragatha in Gangle's body at some point. It's based on the narration and how she speaks.
That's right, team! We're working at a fast food place today, so roll up your sleeves and wash your hands because we got burgers to make.
This sounds like something Ragatha would say. And maybe this is why Jax asks,
Why are you talking like that? What's wrong with you?
And towards the end of the teaser, there's a shot where Gangle is outside behind the restaurant with Pomni, and this shot is pretty creepy. I don't think Ragatha will stay in Gangle's body for the entire episode, but maybe Jax will switch with her. And this would explain the dark shot with the creepy energy. And if this is the case, it's possible that everyone will end up in Gangle's body at some point. And it could start with Zubul. In that shot, it looks like Gangle is putting on a new mask, but maybe once the mask is on, there will be a realization that it's not Gangle anymore, but Zubul in her body. And just remember how Zubul's identity crisis was a major focus in episode 3. They've been struggling to feel comfortable in their body, no matter what combination of parts they try. And this issue didn't get resolved, and it seems like it's going to carry over into episode 4. In the teaser, we see Gangle in Zubul's room with Pomni, Jax, and Ragatha peeking in. Something significant is definitely going on there. The new mask Gangle wears only strengthens the theory that Zubul is involved, especially since the mask looks so different from Gangle's usual happy mask. And it looks like Kane created this body-swapping adventure to help the circus members understand each other better. It could be his way of giving Zubul and everyone else a chance to see what it's like to live in someone else's body. And for Zubul, this could be a way to explore their identity in a completely new way. It could be an opportunity to bond and connect on a deeper level. Because right now, everyone in the circus seems to be coping with their own struggles in isolation. And yeah, Ragatha tries to support the others, but they haven't really opened up to each other about what's going on in their minds. But this adventure could change that by forcing them to literally see the world through each other's eyes. But as for how they will snap out of it and go back to their own bodies for good, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe there will be a turning point for someone, cause just imagine Jack swapping bodies with Gangle, a literal bully with his victim. And yeah, I know that I shouldn't have high hopes for Jax, but maybe he will realize that what he does to the others is cruel, and his conscience will tell him to stop. Or honestly, what's more likely is that he will probably abuse the hell out of this situation. What if he goes into Gangle's body and then lie to someone that it is actually Gangle? The scene where we saw Gangle with Pomni could be that Pomni thinks that she is talking to Gangle, but in reality it is Jax, and he says or does something bad to stir things up, and Pomni would think that it was Gangle. Cause based on how Gooseworks talked about Jax, saying that he is a pathetic loser, and that he really is an awful person, I think that this scenario is actually likely to happen. But finally, let's talk about Kinger. He doesn't seem to be a part of the adventure, and I think there's a reason for that. Switching bodies might be way too overwhelming for him, because Kinger already has trouble staying grounded, especially when he's out of his safe space in the dark. My guess is that Kane suggested Kinger stay behind in the circus this time. We might see some interesting interactions between him and Kane, or maybe he will just stay inside his pillow fort, which could be equally interesting, especially if we see some more flashbacks about him and Queenie. And if this theory turns out to be right, I'm going to be shook. It would explain so much about the teaser, and it would be an amazing way to deepen the characters and their relationships. But if this is true, then I will never believe anything Gooseworks says on Tumblr, cause remember how she wrote that episode 4 is probably going to be the boringest out of all episodes. And honestly, I cannot imagine anything less boring than this concept, but we will see. But let me know what you think about this theory down in the comments. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.